So this is the real main thing I don't get. How people are so blind to see the system that they have voluntarily, supposedly, uh, been for. People want the good things. People want a good life. People want to just be free to do things. There's only one way to do that. Stop participating in government. Because guess what? As long as everybody that's for both either side, everybody is voting for, participating, they're saying we want government. To have a two-sided thing that gets everybody out here fighting each other. They're not fighting each other. They're not going at it, fists blowing, socking each other, and curse. They're doing a little bit of curse each other out, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it's kind of making people happy to hear that, and they're giving the people what they want. It's a show. And then they sit here and, Republicans got what they want, and the cons, because they're being conned. The reps, Republicans, you're not supposed to, or they're supposed to represent you. You're not supposed to represent them. You're not supposed to represent your president. Your president's supposed to represent you, but you act like you represent your president, or the one you voted for, and everything else. So you're doing it all wrong. And then they can sit here, no matter which side is in, one side has the ability to throw a wrench into the other side's, what the other side wants to do for the people that voted for them. So you don't get what you want. And so it's the same for the other side, and it's good guy, bad guy. The reps could be doing the bad things in there. And then saying the Democrats are doing it. And the Democrats won't say they're not doing it, or they'll say they're not doing it. But, the reps are the ones doing it. I got ChatGPT to admit it. Both sides is for gun laws and stricter gun laws. They was mocking you when that one stood up there with a smile on his face. Not serious. A show with a smile on his face. And Trump too. From my cold dead ends. And everybody is for the Constitution, for the Second Amendment, for rights. God's rights that they can't take away. Given to us by God. And they're sitting there like, watch it again. Watch it. If you learn how to watch facial, expressions and how they're carrying themselves and when they're looking at everybody out there, they're the directors, the contrarians, and they're directing everybody into being the way they want all of us to be. They're not leaders. Rulers are directors. Leaders just teach you stuff and lead you in a right direction. Rulers just want to control you. They're not interested in leading you into what's right and what's moral and what's justice and, just. They say it is instead of justice. Shorten it, just. So that's the system we all live under, and that's the system you all want until you wake up and see what it is for what it is. It just does what it does because it's not there to do what you want it to do. It's there to do what it does, what it wants to do, what it chooses to do, what it chooses to call their enemy. It could choose to call the people of America their enemy, period. They're all terrorists to us. They're all now hating us, or a majority of us. So the American people is now our enemy. They're terrorists because they want to be free. They don't want to be governed. As in the Declaration of Independence, 1774 to 1776. and then 1776 to 1787 when they formed the government or the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The first 12, that's 1776, is the first 12. 13 through 27 don't exist. We're back to 1 through 12. Read it and read the articles that was created for those 12, or that the forefathers created for those, or the 12 articles that they even created to go with the Bill of Rights. So there was articles. That was part of the Constitution. There was the Bill of Rights and probably the articles to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, creating the Constitution. And then they changed it and created sections and clauses and other stuff and to work for 13 through 27. And 18 started after, really it started before, just before the Civil War. But they didn't create them until after. After the Civil War, when the South was taking over, all the states were bought and others were just, ran over, taken over. Guess what? Southerners didn't go up north to force the people of the North to have slaves. They never did that. They never went to war to force the people of the North to have slaves. ChatGPT, I got it to admit, the South did not exist as the way we were told. The North had slaves. It was full, like they said it was. That was created as they said it was. The North, the colonies of the North America. So it was probably just America. And I think they made up all this other stuff with Christopher Columbus and all that to create a North America and a South America. And it's actually, I'll bet, they're talking about the war with that South America, but they're attaching it to a different one to say it was the one they had gone to war with to take. Because that's not part of America. That southern deal, the Washington, D.C. and them owns it. That's not part of America. We didn't go get it. They got some of us to join their military they created. It's not a militia. It's a military of force, governance over others by force, with weapons, any kind of weapon. And to take over their country and make them run it their way and say it's our way, blame it on us when they're doing it. So they have all of them hating us, planting our flag, the regular, well, their flag anyways, the regular U.S. flag, because it's a U.S. flag, it belongs to the United States federal government. They created it for that. After 1871. Look up the original Betsy Ross flag. It's the stars in a circle, and it's still the same pattern, just the 13 stars in a circle. That's the original Betsy Ross flag. If you want that America, that's the flag you fly. That's the America you're for. If you fly that other one, you're for the United States Federal Corporation. Sits in Washington, D.C., or the city of Washington, D.C. It's a city government for that city. To govern that city. It's a city of Washington, D.C. city government. It's not meant to govern us. That's why it was given 10 miles square to square it off and say, this is yours. You can do what you want right here. We'll leave everybody else alone. Didn't happen that way. When they created Washington District, they gave it that 10-mile square. There was no Columbia. It was just district. They gave it that 10-mile square, called it the city of Washington, D.C. They didn't touch that. But it's in their systems. ChatGPT pulled it up. And then Amendment 14th enslaved to all of that. We're not supposed to be under those. They took us away from our state. We don't have states' rights anymore. They took us out of it at birth. So you all take care. Bye.